What up, incoming freshman? My name Jacob. I go here, play for House Fan, feel me, represent. And the school's pretty straight, man. Come here, it's a cool school. Get in them books, do what you gotta do, feel me? But one thing I gotta say is peep the feet. You gotta come here and be fly. If you're not fly, don't come to the hill, feel me? Yeah.
Jacob was my youngest son. He was full of energy, funny, caring, giving, loving. At 15, he was an amazing young man. Jacob stood 6'5", 270 pounds, had a passion for football. He had a plan to finish school, go to college, play football. Jacob was a role model to a lot of students at his high school. And I knew a lot of kids liked him as a person, but until his death, I never realized how many really looked up to my 15-year-old son. He always showed his love, and he always had a smile on his face. And that's what I remember. That's what I always see in my mind, is his smile.
Jacob was my right-hand man, literally. His freshman year in high school, he just coming in, starting to play football. The only thing on his mind is getting to varsity and going to college. That was it. He played right tackle, defensive end. Half of the seniors on the team was already getting put down. It was my baby brother. That boy really meant the world to me. I would do anything for him.
I don't really know what to say. When I think about it, it's it brings me joy to about all the good times we had, but it just brings me back to that night. I don't really like to talk about it.
Jacob was murdered on a Friday evening. That Monday, he would have started football practice. On the varsity team, he was looking forward to that. That morning, it was a normal morning. Jacob got up and he gave me a kiss. And I told him I'd see him later. I had to go to work. I went to work. Me and my coworker were at the staff station and my phone had lit up. And I looked and I had 10 missed calls, a number I didn't know. So I called it back. And it was a Spanish man. And he asked me, "Are you Jacob's mom?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "You need to get here. You need to get to the hospital. Jacob's been shot." And I said, "No." When I hung up the phone. And 2 minutes later, my niece called crying. And she said, "Auntie, Josh and Jacob." And I just screamed. And I'm waiting, I'm praying, I'm waiting, because they told me 2 of my sons were shot. I'm waiting, I'm praying, I'm in shock. So, doctor comes in at first and says, "Jacob's in surgery and Josh didn't make it." Then she came back and said, "I'm sorry. Josh is in surgery. Jacob didn't make it." I just fell to my knees. I just fell to my knees. But he was such a good person. And his heart was so good. I knew he went to heaven. How could he not go? So I just started praying for Josh. He was shot 5 times. I was just praying, dear God, just save him. To my understanding, they got in the car, and it's a stop sign. And Josh was changing the CD in the car, and 2 people ran up to the car on the driver's side front, passenger side front, and just started shooting into the car. Jacob and Jeray were in the back seat, Jacob on the passenger side, back behind his brother. They didn't get hurt. They didn't get hurt. To my understanding, when the shooting stopped, Joshua told his brother and Jeray to stay low, get out, and run. Joshua was shot 5 times, and he has an 8-inch plate in his arm. He couldn't open that door. Jacob didn't leave his brother. He didn't leave his brother. I sit and I think of the terror that him and my nephew must have been going through when they realized what was happening. And at 15, he didn't leave his brother. He got out of that car, opened that door, and pulled his brother out of that car and got shot twice. So Jacob was a hero. He was brave at 15. It's not a day goes by I don't cry for my son, that I don't miss my son. I usually have my moments at home in my room when I'm by myself or in the bathroom. But I could be driving to work and just break down. Your emotions, it's hard. When people come and they say, I can't imagine, you can't imagine. You can't imagine. But when it's gun violence, I'm going to say it's different. I know if you lost a child to a sickness or an accident, you would have anger. But it's not someone else taking your child's life. So it's a different anger. I understand my sons are grieving. They're grieving. Their grief is different than my grief. But we have a strong family. We have a strong family. I mean, my son Jonah, who graduates from Eastern Connecticut State University this year, he was awarded the Martin Luther King Distinguished Service Award, and he got up to make his speech, and he dedicated it to his little brother. And he said, all I do is for him. We are all battling a tremendous loss, but we're here for each other. I have wonderful sons, wonderful nieces and nephews, a wonderful mom, wonderful friends, family. They've really been there, When I cry, they cry. So it's just a process in getting to that place. It's going to be a while. That's all I can say. It's just going to be a while.